Thank you and welcome to the show for today. The topic is the federal system of justice, the federal court system, and we're fortunate to have with us this morning to talk about the federal court system, Judge William J. Haynes, who is the district judge for the Middle Tennessee District. And of course, Judge Haynes, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Pleasure to be here, Dr. Haynes.
And to say, Judge, that we had you with us, I guess back in 1985, when I think on the 17th of May, we had a show called the Decision of Brown versus the Board of Education 1954, yes, when you served as a member of a panel that included a number of other citizens from Nashville, and of course we remembered that, and I've got some information that we wanted to bring to you in reference to that, but we forgot about it, but we'll make sure that you get it later on. But Judge, we're so delighted to have you here and to talk about the federal court system with us today. But let's start off by talking about William J. Haynes before he became Judge Haynes, to have you to give our audience some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important that eventually put you in the position that you're in now with the federal court system. And then we'll talk about the federal system itself.
I was born in Memphis, Tennessee in 1949 and attended school there and finished high school at Father Bertrand High School in Memphis. After that, I attended the College of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota. Small Catholic school, and was graduated in 1970. After graduation, I attended the Vanderbilt School of Law and was graduated in 1973. After graduation, I joined the Tennessee Attorney General's office, and I stayed there until 1984. While I was there, I served in a number of different capacities. The last number of years there, most of my time was spent as the Deputy Attorney General in charge of antitrust and consumer protection. And I was named Special Deputy Attorney General for litigation for a while before I went into private practice. I was in private practice only a brief period of time when I was named United States Magistrate for the Middle District of Tennessee. That's a judicial position that is filled by the district judges of this court. And as a magistrate, later magistrate judge, the title was changed to magistrate judge, I assisted the district judges in the disposition of civil and criminal cases. In 1999, upon the recommendation of Vice President Gore, President Clinton nominated me to be a United States District Judge for the Middle District of Tennessee. And with the support of Senator Fred Thompson and Senator Bill Frist, I was confirmed by the United States Senate and have been serving as a district judge since November 1999.
And Judge, as a district judge, certainly you can give us some information about the federal court system, because I think that that's what we're concerned about today, about how this system operates. I think you've mentioned a number of positions that you've held that many of our viewers probably have very, very little idea in terms of exactly what you do in those positions. So let's look at the federal system, the federal court system, and give us sort of an explanation in reference to that system.
The federal judicial system was established by Article 3 of the Constitution, under which there was a Supreme Court created, and such inferior courts as Congress may from time to time establish and ordain. In our current federal system, you have, beyond the Supreme Court, courts of appeals, from which there are, of course, appeals from lower courts. The Court of Appeals that includes Tennessee is the Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit, and they hear appeals from Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. In Tennessee, there are three judicial districts. The Western District covers from the borders of the Mississippi to just beyond the Tennessee River, to the west of us. There's a Middle District of Tennessee, which picks up at about the Tennessee River to just beyond Cookeville in the east, and then there's an Eastern District that covers the balance to the east. The district judges, there are 4 district judges, and we hear civil and criminal cases. The civil cases involve constitutional questions of claims or issues arising under the United States Constitution, and those other federal statutes that authorize us to entertain disputes. They can cover a wide array of subjects: employment, pensions, the environment, securities, disputes between citizens of different states where the controversy exceeds $75,000. So although we are generally considered courts of limited jurisdiction, our authority is quite broad. Within the district court, we have magistrate judges and bankruptcy judges. And the bankruptcy judges handle all matters related to bankruptcy. The magistrate judges assist the district judges, as I said earlier, in both the civil and disposition of civil and criminal cases.
Well, Judge, in terms of your responsibilities as the district judge for the Middle Tennessee District, what is a typical kind of situation that you find in your day-to-day activities? Because I say that because perhaps people want to know exactly what do you do and how you do it on a day-to-day basis. I mean, does your activity consist of simply meetings all the time, a study, or what? What would be your typical kind of day?
It's a combination of duties and responsibilities. Initially, when a civil case is set, I will have an initial meeting with the lawyers to talk about what the claims are in the lawsuit, how long it will take the case to get ready for trial and set a trial. So those are case management conferences that I hold with the lawyers. I will also hold hearings on preliminary matters. If there's a need for immediate relief from the court that you can't wait until the full trial, then I will conduct a hearing on those. Of course, when the cases are ready for trial, I'm conducting the trial, picking a jury if there's a jury trial, and otherwise presiding over the trial, whether it's a jury trial or a bench trial. If there are no conferences or hearings or trials, then I am primarily doing research and writing on motions. Those are papers where a party asks the court for some relief, and the parties may submit evidentiary materials, affidavits, documents to show the court why they should get some form of relief. And you usually are preparing memoranda that outlines what the dispute is, the court's authority, what the facts are as you find them, and of course what the governing law is and how it applies to that particular situation. So you're basically either trying cases or writing on motions or meeting with lawyers.
Now, you also issue, and of course we're getting ready for our first commercial break, but it is the district judges that also issue injunctions, do they not? I mean, is that something that's peculiar to district judges, or is that general in the federal system, or what? What is, how does an injunction work in that?
An injunction is an order directing a party to do or not to do something. It's generally designed to preserve the status quo, and it's a power that the court has that grows out of the English common law tradition. And district judges do have the authority to issue injunctions in an appropriate set of circumstances, but it's generally rare that an injunction will issue because you have to make a showing, among other things, of irreparable injury.
That, in other words, if the injunction is not issued, then one of the parties would suffer some kind of harm. Is that what we're saying?
Well, to get the injunction, you have to suffer irreparable harm. If the injunction is denied, it doesn't necessarily doesn't mean that the party may not prevail at the trial. It's just that there hasn't been enough of a showing to justify preserving the status quo or granting some form of relief at the usually at the very beginning of a trial or shortly after the filing of a lawsuit.
Very good. And of course, Judge, we're getting ready for our first commercial break, after which we'll come back and we'll deal with some of the other issues that you have a real concern with. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. System, and we're